chin up, and rest. And sit. Woo! We are back on and live once again. I am Judah Bernard, the wisdom dialoguer and the motivational warrior of the Rise Creating Your Voice podcast. And I have Miss Cynthia here, Miss Cynthia Miller, who's a special guest, and you guys seen her before. Notice we're wearing the fatigue, we have no shoes on. So we like relax, because we want this to be a very relaxed conversation. So everybody come on, join in. Have you tagged your people yet?
No.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is definitely get people on, so subscribe, like, share, everything. This is Judah Bernard. It is my birthday on today.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I turned 21 plus 21 plus 21 plus 21. I think that's enough. So that's what I'm about today. What I want to explain about the different ones that we have been talking about is moving forward. And the first one was about Move On Girl. And that was with author Kiana Daniels.
Okay.
I think I got a name right. Yeah, that's what it was. And the next one was with director Brandy Webb with Betrayal of the Nation. And you guys can see them at 7 o'clock and you just click on Betrayal of a Nation. And the next was with Lakeisha Carter. She was the realtor person with Property Warrior. That's in D.C., Maryland, Virginia. Shouts out to Lakeisha Carter. Also, the one that dropped today, here on my birthday today, that was with Eric Clean Cut Dixon.
I like him.
Oh.
Well, not that way.
Okay.
That's good.
That was with Eric Clean Cut Dixon. So we talked about Fellas Move On. So I'm hoping that you guys can go and watch that. That's on www.therise.live. And I'm on many social platforms. So if you go to Apple Podcasts, for those who got Apple Podcasts, I am on that. All you gotta do is press in The Rise Creating Your Voice. You can go on any, pretty much any podcast streaming site and just type in The Rise Creating Your Voice and I should come up. If not, you can Google me, Judah Bernard, that's JUDAH BERNARD. And also, you can Google The Rise Creating Your Voice too. Make sure you put The Rise Creating Your Voice, not just The Rise. It's The Rise and Creating Your Voice. So, I know you guys are interested in what we're going to be talking about today. Am I talking too loud?
Yes, you are very loud. My ears are.
Okay. I know you guys want to know what we're talking about today. I get excited when I come on.
It's a good thing. And it's your birthday. You should be excited.
Okay. Was that your exciting moment? So I'm just making sure that was your exciting moment. Was that your exciting moment?
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Good. So she got excited. That's good. So today's topic is about marching orders. And the reason why I chose marching orders because basically we have so many orders in life. One order is the order of our spirituality, which God is my first priority.
Mine too. God first.
Next, family. Family, anytime you conjoin with family and things like that, that becomes an order too. Although it might be short-lived or it might be long-lived, but you still have the familiar piece in there. Being that when you grow older and things like that, you move away from your family to develop another family.
And also, family, our ancestors. We also have our ancestors.
The lineage.
Black history month.
Yes, it is.
Lineage of our black history.
Yes. And let's celebrate the lineage of our black history, African American history, and all of that. You know, in the political realm, they say black and brown community.
Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's something new I learned.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. The other one is health. We can look at health from a mental and a physical standpoint too as well.
Yeah.
So physical as far as your health, as far as dieting, nutrition, and from a mental perspective.
Mental perspective is so important.
Yeah.
Diet and nutrition you know, that people, you know, we quick to go get a checkup on our
Yes,
physical, but
yes.
we're not quick to go get a mental health checkup. Like,
No.
you know, it's just as important.
Yes.
Don't you think so?
Yes, I
Everybody
know.
should get a mental health
I don't
checkup.
think it's important. I
Once a
know it's
year.
important.
I know it's important.
Some of you guys need to get this every 6 months.
Ooh. Sometimes even soon.
Drink to that. All right, now that we're this is ginger ale. Okay. So this is my spark because I don't drink. You know, no, you know, hey.
No,
But this is Rock Creek. This is Rock Creek, and proudly sponsored by my lovely Cynthia Miller. We also look at life.
Yes.
Life is an order. How we come about this earth, that we want purpose for our life, and what we do in our life too as well. So the important part is life.
Life.
Yeah, life in general.
Life and how we move about in life, and not just life about us, about others.
Everybody welcome to Forward.
Taking care of each other.
Right.
Not just your life, but thinking of others as well. And what is your life purpose? I think that's the most important.
Yeah. What is your life purpose?
What
And
is
that's
your life
important. Yes. So also we want to look at your career. Let's talk about that.
That's a big thing.
Now we're going to come back to these. I know we're just touching and hitting key points, but we're going to come back and touch some important pieces of this. Your career. It depends on what you describe as your career, because most people change careers.
Yeah.
And are you happy in your career in life? That's important.
That's so important. That goes back to health.
Yeah, I'm happy.
The careers ain't like the health is going to suffer.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Yes. Yes. A lot.
A
Yes.
lot of people say, I hate my job, and then you have health problems because you're not happy with your job.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta psych yourself out and say, I love my job even when you don't like it.
Yes.
Just so you can be more healthy.
That is true. That is true. So then again, we're looking at retirement too as well, because the one thing is, I look forward to retirement.
Yes.
And what does retirement look like to me? And retirement for me does not necessarily it will look the same for you. So
What does it look like for you?
retirement means that I'm going to go on many vacations, and I will not have to work. I don't even want a part-time job. No, I just don't.
Retirement for me is financial freedom.
Yes, financial freedom.
And don't go to work.
Don't go to work.
And do what I want to do. If I feel like doing something, I can do it. If I don't, I ain't got to do nothing.
And see, when I look at retirement, I break it down. Retirement. And when I look at it, I see this. Full of retired. So I just rest.
Right.
I don't do anything else. If I want to do like something as a hobby, that's what I'm looking at doing as a
Right.
hobby. So, yeah.
What you love to do is
Yes,
retirement.
yes,
I think
yes.
that's the most people when you're in a retirement stage, it's what you love to do in life versus what you have to do.
Yes, yes.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
But that's why I tell people always choose what you love to do in your career, so that way you'll be happy in your career, and somehow you will save up more for retirement because you're happy in what you do.
Right.
Some of us just have, some of my career jobs were,
I had jobs where I just was there. I
it's a
definitely
lot of
understand
jobs,
that. Don't want to be there, just there.
Okay.
But I did the best because
Yes.
I appreciated
Yes.
having that job.
Yes.
Even though I didn't particularly want to be there, but I appreciated that job. But I had to realize, is this, I think career for me is what my inner child loves most.
Mhm.
What I like to do as a young person, when I was younger, and what made me happy inside. I think that's career for me. What makes you happy inside?
And that's important. What makes you happy inside? Yes.
Yeah, career. That's career for me.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Now the next is fellowship. And fellowship comes with the part of unity, uniting as brothers and sisters, just as a familiar, or just as brotherly or sisterly love, or just as a community. So fellowship can come in a community, it can come in a social organization, it can come in a religious environment, It can come in anywhere where you have several people gathering.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just saying fellowship means that it's enriching,
Right.
an enrichment fellowship, not no gossip session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the corona makes it hard to do that now, but we can fellowship.
On Zoom.
And I think for me also fellowship is more of just being there for others.
Okay. I can see
You know,
that.
I just, hey, how you? I just want to be here for you. I'm fellowshipping with you because I want to spend time to get to know you better.
Right.
Or know other people better that I may not have came into contact with.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and just like myself and Cynthia, which is another February baby, her birthday was February 12th. But she left somewhere and went somewhere, and I didn't have time to celebrate with her. So we're having this opportunity now to celebrate. Another one is being a productive citizen.
Talk about that a little bit.
Let me talk about that. You know, we have some people that, we're just going to put it out there, they go to jail. Or do other things like rob and do different stuff that kind of not make them productive citizens. And some of their rights are taken away from them. So being a productive citizen means that you are actually in the standpoint of doing things that are productive. And productive to me meaning that you're not, I wouldn't call it a model citizen. I would say you're minding your own business and you are doing the laws of the land and the laws of God. So that's a productive citizen to me.
Because you know, let's talk about that, you know, because people always want. I'm doing me right now.
No, that's you.
That's you. But where's God in it?
But and then we still have to understand that we have this whole nation and world, and people are.
Unbalanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good word to say. I wouldn't call it unbalanced, but
Tables are.
yeah, you know,
Tilted.
it's tilted. You know, tilted wheel. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want nobody to think I'm supposed to say that. I think that's but I'm just saying, yeah.
And I mean, I have to say that I've been tilted wheel before.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, that's just honest to say that, hey, I'm doing me. And that's what it was. But until I really started figuring out who I was, you know what I'm saying? For me, not for anybody or being in a relationship, that's when I started figuring out that number one is I can be this person that I have been purposed for instead of being someone that doing me.
Yeah. Because they're doing me, then get me too far.
No, didn't give me too
I
far.
would, you know, you kind of keep going around in circles and get tired of going around circles and you're like, okay, Lord, what you want me to do? Because what I'm doing ain't working.
Yeah.
I need help.
So, we want to talk about orders. So all of it together is marching orders. So when we talked about marching, and we kind of like switched them up. So we looked at marching in different folds. You know, marching can be about your posture. And I want to thank my brother in God, Devario Manning, for having that session about problem with posture. The problem might be your posture. And in it, he said that, you know, as I quote, that sometimes, you know, we may be sitting wrong all the time. We may be standing wrong. But then again, let's take it into biblical and spiritual terms. Sometimes your faith not be postured right. Oh, that's high. Sometimes your belief might not be postured right. You might be leaning in your faith.
You say, I'm trying to spend more time.
Yeah, I'm trying. That means you're leaning.
You're leaning.
You're leaning. But we have to understand that where is your heart in that? So I know that for me, that posture is important to me.
Yes.
And posture, you know, the supine back and all that stuff and sitting up just correctly is important to me because basically it helps with breathing. It helps with the mental. It helps with everything. So, well, your feet won't be touching.
I was getting a little short breath there.
Yeah. So we have to understand how we sit and things like that. That's important too as well. Exercise.
Oh, yes.
You want to speak on that?
Exercise is so important, mentally and physically.
Yes.
Because you got to exercise the mind as well as the body.
Yes.
I believe we do at least have, 30 minutes a week. 3 days out of the week, you should at least do 30 minutes of exercise, but really more than that.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't exercise and they wonder why their joints are hurting and they're having all these problems with their bodies.
Right.
But for me, exercising my relationship with God, that's a different type of exercise, a spiritual exercise. You know, it's that time, that attention to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a daily routine, like you said, you had your daily workout. I had to have my daily time with God.
Yes, you have to have your daily time with God. That is important. And sometimes, what does daily mean for you? And I know one of the principles that I look at is Mother Teresa, and one of her quotes said that you have the opportunity to spend 24 hours with Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. That's important to me.
That's important.
I was like, sometimes we don't. I know for me, start saying me. Consciously, sometimes I'm not aware of how much time I spend with Jesus Christ, but I'm starting making more conscious of how much time I spend with Him. I know I don't watch TV, but I meditate a whole lot.
You know, I think that the meditation part for people is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like, on my way over here, I was listening to the music, I kept flipping, flopping, and then I was like, I just need quiet right now.
Right.
I just need to meditate and think about what God needs me to do.
Right.
Because when you have all the distractions, you can't focus, and you can't hear God.
Right. And that's one thing is, it depends on, like, for me, sometimes if I'm listening to like spa music or something where it's calming, it sends me to another place. Like, for meditation, it's for different people. Sometimes quietness is good for me. Sometimes it's not. So I think different meditational efforts and exercises assist me in being a better person instead of just sticking to one monotone, this and yeah.
And you gotta find out what works for you. Like, I've been meditating for years, but it's really things that I had to really figure out. I mean, the first time I tried to start to meditate, I just jumped up because it was just like too much going on at one time in my brain, and I had to really like do like a minute and increase my meditation and find other things to do to calm me, because I always was busy moving. And if you're always busy moving, you haven't got time to put any structure to anything. You just, where's the structure?
So, yeah, definitely what I would talk about is that's just having conscious of how you're moving. Because I think what I know in my head that I now consciously think of what I'm doing most of the time now, and I be mindful of the things that I'm doing versus just running and reacting all the time.
Exactly.
And that's what I found hard sometimes, that I just react and I never have the time to be conscious and be mindful about it. But let's talk about marching as far as endurance.
Yes. Endurance.
Yes.
What's the definition of endurance?
Let me say this. The race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but to the one that endureth until the end. Endurance means that you can withstand it all throughout. If they throw snowballs at you, if they throw darts at you, if they slap you in your face, that means you endured. And you did not react. So that's important. That's important.
Yes, because to endure is, you know, sometimes we can be short-tempered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so when I think of endurance, because I was like, how do you look at endurance? Like, to be able to take with so much, right?
Yes.
But not allowing it to get to that point that you beyond, that it just come out.
Yeah.
You can endure it so much, but where's the self-care in endurance?
The self-care endurance is knowing when to walk away. Because an endurance for me is, and I use it, this is my analogy that I use, is you know the point of your boiling point. Mm-hmm. Only you knows that. Only you know that. And the thing that I talk about all the time is, I know my degrees might be 85. So if somebody getting to 80, I probably need to like just diffuse so I can go back down to 75. Because once I get up to 80, I might be over that boiling point because it's easy for me to get to 85.
I'm 77. That's my so I know I get.
Look, if you know your temperature, okay?
Y'all know y'all temperature.
Yeah, you need to know your boiling point temperature. So that way you won't get angry or say so many things out of malice intent by using your tongue, because you know your tongue is a double-edged sword.
Yes.
So you gotta remember, you reap what you say, and when you say things start happening for you.
And I think with meditation that helped me a lot, because I was really quick a lot in my life just to say boom, my feelings, but just like a computer has the downloads.
Yeah.
And I look at meditation in that way. It's like we get so much in our heads. When you meditate or mindfulness, you're allowing that stuff to process.
Yes.
Instead of it, going into overload. Because the computer will shut down.
Yeah, it will.
I'm just saying to get y'all understand a little bit. It will.
If it gets too hot.
It gets too hot. Woo.
Yes. So one thing is, we talked about determination too as well. You have to have the determination to endure.
Yes.
Some people find it hard. I know I find it hard when I'm less determined to endure. And determination is a good key point in it, because determination gives you the more strength to endure.
Yeah.
So the more endorphins and all that riled up in you gives you the energy to make sure that you're endured to the next one.
Yeah. Determination.
Yes. Exploration is a good point too as well. Exploration and marching, because it gives you the peace in the Bible that every steps of a righteous man is ordered by God. Yeah. And understand steps are important. Just like when we were birthed, you had to take baby steps.
Yeah. You had to crawl before you took steps.
You got to crawl before you walk. But in that's still a process. And I think most people don't understand that even in life as adults, some of us still crawl.
Oh, yeah. Yes. That one right there is a lot of people still crawling. I'm glad I ain't crawling no more.
Yes. And I'm just letting you know that, hey, you have to crawl before you walk. And that's, and anything that's new in your life, anything that's, because most people think, since I have this certification or whatever, that I don't have to do what, is doing. Stop thinking like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's, I've been working since I was 8 years old.
Ooh.
I'm 48. I got to say I'm 48. I'm 5.
She's been working since she was 3 or 8?
8.
Oh. I had to call the child labor law.
No,
I thought she said 3.
No, my grandfather used to deliver papers for him.
Okay.
For Amway, so I was working. I get paid. I got up early in the morning.
You got a check.
I didn't no check. I didn't no check. I got a little bit of cash, but it was working.
We don't want to talk about the undertaker stuff. I understand.
When I got up, it was hours.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, I got up at 7 a.m. and I stopped at 1.
But that way you learn structure during that time too.
Exactly. I knew my grandfather was going to come and get me. I better be ready at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's that gave me structure to endure, what I had to do when I really got out here in the world and work hard for what I needed, because I knew it wasn't going to come easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And our last one is alignment. Alignment is important. Alignment is the opportunity for you to just look at your total self-assessment and see, is this aligned with this, aligned with this? Mm-hmm. Because that's important. And if your heart is not in it, if your mind is not in it, I don't think anything else kind of like matters, because your heart has got to be pure. And then on top of that, aligning your mind into it too is important too as well.
Yeah. But I think of alignment, mind, body. So
yeah.
You know,
In
it's like
spirit.
in spirit. So when I say soul, I mean in
Yeah.
spirit. Because if that's not your mind, your body, you gotta take what you are, what you eat, from your head down to your feet. You know that saying, a lot of people don't realize that's the body to me too.
Yeah.
Spiritually, like you gotta really, we don't take care of us. We don't make the time a lot of times to take care. And I'm saying, let me say me, myself, when we talk about
Yes,
me.
we talk about us. Yes.
Sometimes I have to slow down and say, okay, I'm feeding and taking care of other people. What am I pouring into myself?
Yeah.
Am I eating right? Am I drinking enough water every day? Am I resting right? So,
Is my friends not worrying me?
right. If I'm trying to save everybody else but me, you know, because women, I can speak for this is healthy heart month as well. February is healthy heart.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, just want to make sure, you know, as just speaking in reference to women, black women are more susceptible to heart disease than any ethnicity. White women and Spanish are affected, both black and then Spanish, but you know, the stress and things that we deal with in our lives and not taking care of ourselves and pushing ourselves and not eating right, are we in alignment to take, you can't take care of everybody else and not take care of yourself.
Right.
And that's an important part of the body.
Yes.
And the spirit as well. God, body. What was I on? Mind.
So, mind, spirit.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, what are your marching orders, and do you have any marching orders? Because it's important to know that how do you fit into society and the world and the nation? And we'll take some questions if there are any while people are online. If you have any questions, please let us know. So some of the other things that we talked about being that God is in our orders, our mental and our physical, because those are some things that we need to take care of. But we still have to understand that where are we personally in our orders, in our martial orders?
And that's going to be different for everybody.
Yes. And it's still a process in your marching orders. But understand that there are different variables that can shorten or lengthen your marching orders.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
So if we want to start with the long or the short?
It's up to you.
I think we should start with the long. One of our long extended ones is being obedient to God and God's will. That's a long, extensive one because in doing that, and like John 3:16 said, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. Is number one is that that gives you eternal life. So that's a long for me. Yeah, that's my long.
You know, when you think of eternal life and God, that's because God is love, right?
Yes.
God is love. So the love that God gives us is eternal. That he puts us here, you know, we're here on earth, and then once if we believe in him, or God, or that we will flourish and that we will have eternal life. But that's by faith.
Yes.
You know, it's like a lot of people can't understand that eternal life. But the living water, eternal life.
Okay.
Did I say living
So,
water?
yeah.
That makes sense when I say
Yeah. So the long is loving one another. One of Jesus' last commandments was to love one another as I have loved you. How are we covering each other with love?
Yes.
And in my ministry, I talk about love, truth, transparency, and also realness. And how sincere are we about being all four? So, longer life means, we have to be obedient. Not only obedient to God, but obedient to our parents, because it says in the Bible also, is honor thy mother and thy father, so that your days may be long as the Lord has promised you.
Yes. You know, that's a hard one.
Which one?
Honor thy mother.
And we still have to understand what honor means.
Yes. and that's why I want to pause in the like, honor thy mother and thy father.
Right.
Respect your mother.
Yes.
Respect your father.
Yes.
But at the same time, my kids say to me sometimes, you gotta give respect to get respect. I heard that something.
Okay. What does that mean?
Yeah, but
Honor thy mother and thy father. I don't know. I've heard you got to get respect. You got to give respect. I heard that as a quote, but I didn't know it was in the Bible.
I ain't know it will be. That's what I was just saying, people. But God says, and so if you don't, what will happen in your life? If you don't honor your mother and your father, I think we fall into this.
But I think that's when we look at honor your mother, honor thy father and thy mother, so that your days may be long. So if you don't do it, that means your days are what? What's the opposite of long?
Short.
Okay. That would solve the problem.
Exactly.
So there it is.
But when you're dealing with so much hurts and pain from parents or situations, how do you forgive the pain to respect?
And the whole notion of conversation is everyone trying to be appreciative of a genuine conversation. And one thing is, what we talked about earlier was knowing your numbers, your boiling point numbers. And that could open up with great communication and say, look, if I say something to you that may trigger you or bring some type of upsetting feeling with you, please let me know. Someone has to be the bigger person.
Right.
So, and that's what people have to think about is what makes you get loud with me if you feel a certain type of way that I'm saying something wrong. So then you raise your voice, and I told people, can you turn your voice down to a 7? Mm-hmm. Because what I'm perceiving that your voice is loud now. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And that's still my perception. Maybe I got a hearing aid on, maybe something heightened my senses up that day. I don't know. But then again, you know your child, you know children, you know when people have some type of attitude.
Exactly.
So, and that's the important part.
Yeah, that's an important part. And understand that sometimes it might be the parent versus the child. Yeah. The parent might be acting aggressive, and you may be somewhere at a different place than your parents. We are all human.
Yes.
And then, so understanding that, okay, I'm about to get to 70.
Right.
Don't hang up on your family.
Right. But let's do this. Have you had that talk about thermostat shit? Because maybe that talk needs to be had first. Look, maybe that talk needs to be like, look, I need you to keep this at a 60 right now because I feel that you're at a 75. But I try to give analogies so it can be a little more comical instead of less tense.
Right.
Instead of saying angry, it's saying my thermostat. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or saying that, okay, what I heard you say is that you didn't like something. So then again, as I was hearing you say that, I noticed a raise in your voice.
Yeah. And that's good you say that because a lot of times we have a tendency to hear what we want to hear versus what is being said.
Yes, yes.
So sometimes it's good to, like, if you want to have a better communication, to listen to that person. Well, you were saying, no, I didn't say that. But I heard you say such and such. But no, that wasn't what I actually was saying. But if you don't have that open communication, it can just go to the left quickly.
Real quickly.
Yeah. That's so important.
Yes.
The communication part in that, when you go back to love thy mother, father, you have to be able to communicate.
Yes. Yes.
In any relationship.
Any relationship.
Whether it be, even if right now people are finding now that they're home with people you can't communicate with. Because you never have to communicate with the people at first because you were so busy.
And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Glad
I went home.
Glad I never know.
Yes, I had to get home.
Yeah, so it's important to communicate quite often. so no one will be left out in the cold.
Yeah.
And understand what thermostat means. Meaning that if, and somebody is usually angry for a reason. And whatever that reason may be, it might be something happened at work.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said something to them and they felt a certain type of way because of another, or maybe they felt left out because of that situation somebody else told them about. So people are people.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Hurt people, hurt people. And that's the number one thing.
So, how do you get past that hurt? One way through communication, God. I think God is at the
Well,
that.
we still have to understand.
Everybody don't believe in God.
There we go. We still have to understand that everybody does not have a constant belief in God.
Yeah.
And that's being honest. That some people believe in Scientology, some people believe in different deities and different universal things.
Exactly. So we can't be biased.
You can't be biased, no, because God said love everyone.
Yeah, right.
He said love everyone.
And that goes back to it. Where there's more love, there is more openness for communication.
Yes, but then again, we still have to understand how one defines love.
Agape.
We got agape, we have philia, but is that other person giving you that? So it's still one's perception about what type of love someone's giving.
And some people don't even know how to love. They're not in the spiritual
But
side.
I don't worry about those people.
I do. I guess I'm too kind-hearted.
No, I think what we still have to understand that we still cover them with love.
Yeah.
No matter what. God told us to cover them with love. And that's the important. That's what I said. Oh, but God. Thank you, Kim Kennedy Washington, for my printed shirt. But God. And I told her to put that gold drip on it. That's that 24 karat gold from God.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm blamed. I'm blamed out.
Yeah, but that, that whole piece of, I send that to my children when they feel that they are disrespecting me. I send my children that verse just to let them know that, okay, because if you don't know, but do they really understand it?
Do they? Did you ask?
No, I think that's I'm glad we're having this conversation. Maybe I need to do more than just sit there.
Exactly.
But I'm talking about conversation.
And maybe we can come together and have a mediator in between. We're not giving you therapy.
I don't need no
martial orders. No, but sometimes the mediator does work.
Yeah.
To see both sides, but then again, don't agree or disagree with anyone, but to bring a mutual understanding to the whole community.
Yeah, it's done in the courts, right? We haven't really thought about that in dealing with family.
Yes.
Like, sometimes you just need to have. How many people in families are now just sisters and siblings? I'm talking about the ones that had 10, 15 of them and they're not speaking.
Yeah.
For something that they don't even probably remember what happened.
Right.
A lot of times they don't even remember what happened.
Yeah.
I've heard, I'm saying, well, why are you mad at her? Because she, or he. But what did that person really do?
Right.
For all that years? So then, I think in them type of situation, there definitely is a mediator.
Yes, mediation is needed.
Yeah. We gotta get, family, and it goes back to the orders. Family is so important.
Important. Very important.
That's who make us, that's who that's how we learn about ourselves. I think it's getting a little personal, but I think when I went and started meeting my father's side of the family, because I always was around my mom's side of the family, I found out that nobody on my mom's side of the family were accountants. But on my dad's side of the family, they was like big time accountants. And I was like, oh wow, I missed out on them all these years.
Yeah, you've been on the wrong side of the family.
But what I could have learned from them and how I could have grew had I, how would I say, spent more time. Now I am on the families committee for the family reunion committee and all that type of stuff. So sometimes you gotta reach out to your family.
she got titles now.
Yes, reach out to your family.
If you reach out to your family, you will get a family coordinator position.
Show love. That's all I'm saying. Love them.
Yes, yes.
I love you, Jeremy.
And that's the important part is definitely this is the time to start tying those family bonds. And that's important.
Mm-hmm.
It's really important, really important. And I can't keep iterating how is the need for us to start uniting one together, more together as a community, and not only as a community, but as a race. And I'm not just talking about African American, I'm talking about the human race.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's important, very important. That's the only way that we'll be able to get further in life, especially in the human race.
Yeah. I pray for world peace.
Keep praying.
I know it is. I mean,
Let's start with the nation first. let's have nation peace first. Okay?
nation peace.
Yeah.
You know, they constantly, when you dream, you guys dream big.
Yeah. Well, I want to start small and then go big. Give it the nation first, because I think for us we have so many other things going on.
Yeah. Nation, huh?
Besides, different celebrities doing what they're doing, it's a nation thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to think more globally instead of just different sections like DC, Maryland, Mississippi, California, and stuff like that. But think holistic. And although we still have different area codes, zip codes, and all that stuff, we need to become a little bit more harmonious and the way we live, the way we talk, and the way we communicate too as well.
You're right. That's so true. It all back to the communication.
Yes.
Is key.
Communication is key. How many of us actually communicate with our family members? I know I do.
Yeah, just check on them.
Yeah, check on them. How many of you guys check on them?
You gotta always have a long phone calls and text them.
Text them.
You don't feel like talking, text, hey, how you doing? You know what I do? Sometimes to keep my family connected, I'll send out a morning, like 9 people to 9 people, and I'll send out something like a morning greeting. And then they'll start responding, and the next thing you know, they're having a conversation.
Right.
This is kind of my way of trying to connect my family to communicate with each other.
Right.
I mean, just little things like that.
I know sometimes people just don't like truth and transparency. They're kind of shown away from that because they've been dealt a handful of lies. Yeah. And people just don't like truth and transparency. And I don't know why. As the Bible says, the truth shall set you free.
Yeah.
So that's where I am with my truth. Are there any questions? I know we've been gabbing and talking and want to go to a commercial break right quick. No, I'm just playing. So what this will be doing is, it's called marching orders. I am here with Cynthia Miller, the special guest that come. Today is my birthday, February 28th, 2021. This will be airing March 7th, which is next Sunday, 2021 at 12 noon. And it's called marching orders. And we gave different scenarios of what orders could be and orders that we have in life. And also we talked about different things as marching to as well. So we're looking forward to seeing you definitely on Don't Turn Back. And we have a couple of ladies that are going to be on there. Be You Real Apparel is going to be doing the segment for that, so we're looking forward to it. I have other interviews coming up with Kawan, Fork in the Road. I'm sure you guys looking at Three's a Company going to come back, and that's with Micah, Katie, and myself, and we're going to be doing Keep Your Eye on the Prize.
Oh, nice.
And then the last but not least, and that's Easter is April 4th. Easter weekend we'll have Domo, which is refocus, reset, repurpose, and when you have not reached your target. And we call that targets missed. So what we're going to do, we're going to refocus, reset, and repurpose, and make sure that we get those targets. Or if you can't get those targets, we actually miss them by a long shot, you can always repurpose those targets and shoot for other targets, where you can have goals and dreams and realities too as well. Do you have any closing words you want to say?
Well, as we end the last of this beautiful month, which is Black History Month.
Yes, it is. African American History Month.
Healthy Heart Month.
Healthy Heart Month. It was
Special
Valentine's Day, Love Month.
President's Day.
Well, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I do because it's close to my birthday.
Gilmore, we didn't celebrate.
But Judah Day is today.
It's Judah Day.
It's Judah Day. Woo!
Yay! Spirit fingers.
So I just say that God continues to bless you in your
Yes.
purpose and give you the true desires of your heart.
Oh.
Thank you, Jeremy.
True desires is for everyone to be covered by love and also love. And if you don't know the love, go and look him up. Go Google him. Agape love, feel your love, which is brotherly love. And those are two of the ones that were mostly shown in the Bible. If those who want to reach out in the Bible and look at the different types of love that were shown in the Bible. So if there are no questions, we definitely want to just thank you guys for listening in. Like I said, this drops March 7, 2021 at 12 noon. We're looking forward to you looking to that. We send out motivational texts every Wednesday, and that's to 844-452-5110. And that's 844-452-5110. I'm hoping I got the number correct. But if I didn't, just text me and I'll give it to you. But you can text the rise to that. It's probably right here. Here it is. 844-452-4110. It's 844-452-4110. I just messed up one number. And you can text the rise to, and if you look, you can www.therise.live. You can Google me, and that's actually my website, therise.live. It's an actual, I know people like to go .com. .live is an actual domain name too as well. And the reason why I chose .live is we want to continue to live on. And you can't live if you're not rising. Rising perks growth. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. I guess they weren't ready for that one. Rising perks growth. And anytime that you feel like you're going to percolate, remember you want to grow. And it depends on where you're planting your seeds. Jesus. Ooh, that's the Holy Ghost moment right there.
Yes.
Because the harvest is ready, but the laborers are few. The harvest is ripe, but the laborers are few. So,
and God says, do good over what I have given you.
yes. So, understand where you're sowing your seeds and where you're planting. So you want to reap or get the fruits of your labor, and that's important. Are there any other questions and comments before we leave? Always remember, I am Judah Bernard, the Wisdom Dialogue and the Motivational Warrior. Hope you was inspired by myself and Cynthia's conversation on the rise, and we look forward to talking to you once again. And once again, I say 844-452-4110, and that's if you want motivational text. You text the rise to 844-452-4110, and also, I always say, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell your spouse, heck, tell everyone. We'll see you on the next podcast. Until then, and we're out.